Hey everyone, thank you so much for being here today. My name is Denise. I'm also known as heywigsister on Instagram and Facebook. Today I'm here to bring you a wig review in partnership with name brand wigs. This is Estetica TRUE in the color Sunlit Blonde. Sunlit Blonde was just added to the color palette for this style as well as a few others. I'm really excited to be bringing this to you. I've never reviewed True, and so it's going to be fun to show you this in this new to true color. If you want to know more, please stick around. I will tell you all about this wig. I'll show you inside the cap. We will go outside. Hopefully I'll cover it all. Once again, I want to thank Name Brand Wigs for being such a tremendous partner and helping me get as much information about wigs out to my wig sisters as I can. You guys, it is such a blessing to have a company so willing to put their money where their mouth is and get a lot of reviews out. So please, please, if you ever interact with Name Brand Wigs, make sure you thank them for working with reviewers. Maybe you can even make a special effort to thank them. You can put a thank you in the comments and I'll make sure they see this video, or you can send them an email, support@namebrandwigs.com. I'm not the only reviewer that they work with, and this is so wonderful to have all of these wigs on video for us. If you haven't had an opportunity to visit the Name Brand Wigs website, I highly encourage you to. It's namebrandwigs.com. I do have a link in the description to this wig. They have a blog, they've got education, and oftentimes, if someone has reviewed a wig, that review will be linked to the page where the wig is for sale. So lots and lots of great resources there. Okay, everybody, let's take a look at True from all sides. It's so cute. If you like short wigs, oh my gosh, you guys, this is adorable. And it's a basic cap. It doesn't have any monofilament. It doesn't have a lace front, so the price point is lower. I just love, love, love styles like this that have some volume on the top and that are like you can tuck them or you can pull out some hair. It's just so adorable. I will show you my favorite way to style this wig a little bit later in the video. You won't want to miss that part, because if you are really curious about short wigs but you're not sure if you're going to like them, styling them can make all the difference. It sure did for me, and it allowed me to get used to seeing myself in shorter wigs. And short wigs can come in handy, so handy in the summer and in the winter. Whenever I wear a turtleneck or a high neck shirt or a scarf, almost always that's when I throw on a short wig, because all that friction on a longer wig can be hard on those fibers, and it just can be a little bit uncomfortable. But if you like to wear turtlenecks or high necks, or you've got a bunch of really cute scarves that you like to wear, consider the possibility of wearing a short wig. When you've got something up around your neck, you can't really tell that it's short as much as when you're wearing maybe a low-necked shirt, and it's so much more comfortable. I highly recommend it. It is the kind of a happy thing that I discovered, and it's just one of my greatest wig wearing tips. So let's get to talking about True. So True, like I said, has a basic cap. And when I say basic cap, another name for that is machine-made cap. And that just means it doesn't have a lace front, monofilament, mono part. Those are frequently called cap features, and it just doesn't have any of those. Those cap features really increase the price of a wig quite a bit. So if you can find yourself a cute, basic or machine-made cap that you're comfortable in, it really will save you some money. Let's take a look at this cap, and I'll tell you a little bit about the Permatease in this one. So we've got, that's what a machine-made cap looks like. Now sometimes there aren't open wefts right here. It's all a closed, sort of a flowery fabric material. Estetica really commonly includes open wefts there. They usually have open ear tabs. So these ear tabs do have metal stays in them, but they're open. And then this one does not have an extended nape, but if it did, Estetica often uses an open nape as well. And then these have the hook adjusters. One of the things about using the open material on wigs is it can help them to be a little bit cooler. The more openings there are on a wig, the more airflow that gets through. That's not the only factor though. Permatease can really impact how cool a wig is because it adds a level of insulation that can make a wig a little bit warmer. In a short wig like this, it's going to be negligible. I really think this one's going to be about as, you know, the only thing cooler would be a super low density wig that has no Permatease, but in a short style like this, that's really dangerous because you risk seeing the wefting. So let's talk about Permatease. This wig does have a fair amount of Permatease up here. So when I put my fingers in here, I can feel the poofy, pillowy, crimpy fibers all on the top of this wig. There's a tiny, tiny bit on the sides here. Not a lot, just a little bit. And gosh, the barest minimal right about here, and then nothing down at the nape. So really, the bulk of the Permatease is on the top of this wig, and I'm sure that you can kind of see the volume that I'm getting. Now, if you want to get in there and really get in there at that Permatease, you can amp up the kind of the volume if you want to. But you can also get in here, and if you kind of get your fingers into the Permatease and sort of rake down on it, like that, you can get this to be a lot lower profile. And then if you tuck and sort of smooth, it doesn't have to be full and voluminous. And so that's the beauty of a short wig like this, is there is a surprising amount of styling flexibility, especially if you're willing to use accessories, which I'll show you in just a moment. So this one does have a full bang, and for me, it's just a tad, if I really pull it down straight in front, and I'm already getting poked in the eye, it's just a tad too long for me, and it wants to poke me in the eye. Super easy to trim up. I have a video where I show you how to trim up bangs with my handled thinning razor, texturizing razor. It makes it so easy, and it's foolproof, unlike using scissors, which you might cut it a little too much if you're not experienced. So please watch that video if you ever think you might be in need of trimming bangs. I will link it in the description below. So until I could get those trimmed up, I can just do this. It definitely still stays a bang, but does gently sweep to the side. And it looks great that way as well. So you don't have to trim up the bangs if you don't want to. Now, because this doesn't have a lace front, you're not going to be, you know, one of my things I love to do with short wigs, if they have a lace front, is to kind of take claw clips and get that hair up out of the way. And then I can amp up the style on the sides, and it gives it such a cute look. You're not going to do that with this because it doesn't have that lace front. But I think because of the layering that they've done and the way these fibers lay, I don't think just being outside in normal wind will be a problem with this one. I know one of the concerns people share with me about wigs with bangs is if the wind blows too much and it blows up the bangs, and then you can see that hard front. I really think the only way that's going to happen is if you're on a boat going super, super fast, you know, because it's just, they're not really that long enough to really blow around a whole lot. So that's just my 2 cents on that. So we've got just beautiful layers all throughout. So this, you know, it's really interesting. It's not a wavy or curly piece, but it does seem to have a gentle wave here and there. It's so darling, back here especially. I love that. It just gives the style something different, and it makes it so while it's a short style, it's not a super spiky style. Sometimes you'll get wigs like this, and they'll be short, and then there'll be a lot of spiky pieces, which is don't get me wrong, that's a fun look, cute look, and it's, you know, definitely one way to style hair, but sometimes you want a softer look. This is a little bit of a softer, maybe fancier short hair because of how they've done the Permatease, the volume, and the gentle waves. And the nape is relatively short in the back. So the nape is about 2 inches long in the back. And when I say nape, I'm referring to this bottom right here. I always tell people, if on short wigs, if the nape is 2 inches or less, you really need to be aware of your own hairline to make sure that you're not going to be able to see your bio hair if you have a low hairline. Of course, if the color of your hair matches well with the color of the wig, that's not as much of an issue. But let me give you guys a quick tip. I did a video, a Tip Tuesday on this. If you do not subscribe to my channel, I highly recommend you do, because I do tons of educational videos. I don't just do reviews. I teach a lot, and it can be really helpful. So here's my tip for you. If you have a shorter nape, or a longer nape, I mean, or if you've got bio hair that's a really awkward length, like my terrible hair right now, and it wants to stick out, use a wig grip. Even if you don't wear wig grips normally, I think if you wear one with a short wig, it will help you. So take the wig grip, and this is by The Hair Grip. It's my absolute, where's the name? My absolute favorite wig grip on the market. I will link it in the description. I love this one. So basically, I go and I kind of slide it up, because it's going to take my hair with it. I slide it like that, so it will take my hair with it. The kind of the crushed velvet on here is what allows it to pull your hair. It doesn't pull on your hair, but it just helps to keep it in place. Then I scoop my hair into it. Darn turtleneck got in the way. I scoop my hair into it in the back, and then I close it up. And then that pulls my nape hair, pulls my sideburn hair with it, and it stays as long as I have it on. And that way I can wear short wigs, because my bio hair is not going to get in the way. If I don't do this, I currently cannot wear short wigs, because my bio hair is just that awkward length. I can't really do anything else with it. I can't put it in a ponytail. I just kind of wants to poke out. And so now I throw my wig on, and now my bio hair doesn't show. And we're good to go. Plus, it keeps this wig so secure. I didn't used to like wig grips at all. I never wore them until I discovered the hair grip. I love the hair grip wig grips. They're so comfortable. My review does talk about some of the differences between this and some of the others out on the market. But I rarely adhere my wigs anymore, because I'll just throw a wig grip on if I really care. So now I'm good to go. I'm comfortable. This isn't going anywhere. It doesn't matter what I do. I can go on a roller coaster. I can go on in a speedboat. I just mentioned a boat at super high speeds. This wig isn't going to fly off. So it's a really helpful thing to have a wig grip on hand for some occasions. So this, I already mentioned the Permatease, but this is, I would consider this for a pixie cut, it's a moderate density. It's not a super, super light density piece, but it's not ridiculously heavy. I think it's just the perfect amount. If you are looking for a pixie that has some sass, some character, some volume, this could be a great one. If you're looking for one that's very, very low density, flat to the head, no poof, this one really isn't the right one for you. And so that's just maybe the most important takeaway from that. The density of Permatease and all of those. The fibers are just beautiful. I love Estetica fibers. I think they feel incredibly realistic, and they seem to wear really, really well. So the fibers are wonderful. Just really good quality all around on this. Right, we're almost to color. Let's talk about fit. Estetica is known for running big, being big head friendly. They're also known for crazy amounts of stretch in their wigs. This one I would say is actually, normally I put this on and I assess fit without a wig grip. I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do it right here on camera with you guys. So right now I have it cinched in to the third hook back here. It's in 3 hooks. So it's already cinched in a little bit. Yeah, that's like the perfect amount for me, for comfort. And again, super stretchy. So I would say this is running true to Estetica average, which is closer to average large. So definitely if you're a petite head, Estetica wigs generally are going to be too big for you. There's so many videos out there showing you how to make a wig cap smaller. I have a whole bunch bookmarked in my playlist. I have a playlist called Other People's Tips and Tricks. I have a bunch of those videos bookmarked because I've never personally done it. So learn how to do that and you might be able to wear Estetica wigs. But if you have average large measurements, Estetica is a great brand to look at. Now my circumference is 22 inches. Like I said, I have this cinched in 3 notches on both sides. 22 and a half, you're golden. I think potentially even up to 23. as long as you're used to wigs maybe being a little snug. It's really hard for me to estimate a whole inch bigger than me, but that's my best guess. I will also say that I get really good coverage from Estetica. The ear tabs fall just where I like them for good coverage and for comfort, and I usually get extra cap, and this is no exception. I'm trying not to pull it off. If I had my wig grip on, I wouldn't be pulling it off, but all that extra cap. I have very petite measurements over the top of my head. Let me just readjust this, and I get a lot of extra cap. So again, I would say this is really running kind of true to average large, like Estetica typically does. Although I will say I don't feel a lot of bulking or gapping up here. So even though I do get extra cap, it still kind of hugs my head and seems to fit me just fine. All right, guys, I promised myself I wouldn't make this video long, but I always find things to teach. So I hope that you don't mind and you can skip ahead to whatever you want to see. Now we can talk about color. Sunlit Blonde. I did review this color on the thin style when it first came out, and so I'm glad to see it again on a shorter style. The biggest thing to know about this color is it's a very large contrast between the rooting and the platinum. So this is pretty much like a bleached blonde. It runs kind of platinum-y. There is just a little tiny bit of contrast. So you've got some really, really light platinum, and then you've got a little bit of a darker, almost like an ash, a golden ash blonde. I think that might be a contradiction in terms, but it's not really super golden, but it's not really super ashy. So it really looks like it's sort of contrasted with some golden ash blonde. And then that rooting, in some lighting, that rooting looks super dark. It's actually not a super dark root. It's just the contrast. So I think that they used maybe a 10. It's definitely not an 8 or anything darker than that. So but it just, because of that significant contrast, it definitely looks darker than it really is. And I would call this a neutral brown. It's not super warm. I don't see red in that brown at all. Sometimes if the rooting on a super blonde wig is too warm, it almost looks red. That's not what this looks like. It looks like a 10 to me, which is a light brown. The lightest brown is a 12. So it's really not that dark of a root. It does appear to be darker than it is because of the contrast. When I get outside, I want you to take a look at what natural lighting does versus my studio lighting in here, which can sometimes increase the depth of some of the colors. And then as far as shine goes, blondes, super light blondes can sometimes be shiny on synthetic pieces. I do think that this one may be shiny in some light. If you struggle with that, I don't honestly know if I would do anything. I would probably just wear it like it is. I don't think it's too shiny. But if you're super sensitive to shine, dry shampoo will help tamp down the shine. Just wearing it, washing it, that shine will dissipate after a period of time. But if you want to speed up that process, dry shampoo. All right, everybody. This color, I love, love, love it on this short wig. On a longer piece, I think it comes across a lot more sort of bleach blonde than here. It's just a fun contrast. I really, really love short wigs that are blonde with dark roots. I just think it makes all of the contrast look so fun. That's just my personal preference, though. All right, I may have actually said that in the outside segment too, so forgive the repeat. It's just that really what struck me about this color. Okay. Before we get outside and show you the color, nope, I'm going to do it after. Let's get outside. I'm building the plane as we fly it, you guys. Let's get outside, do that color, and then I will show you my favorite way to style a short wig like this. This is out of the box. I did nothing to this. Well, okay, I ran my fingers through it. That is all I did. I did not use any product. I did not take water to it. I did nothing. This is so, so cute out of the box. It's a product of being short, partly, and maybe because it's new, it hasn't lived in a box super long, but really, really good out of the box. Okay, now it's time for us to get outside. All right, everyone, here we are with Sunlit Blonde on True. You know what? I love short wigs in these rooted blondes. I think they're so fun. This is a really fun one. It's got the kind of bleach blonde vibes to it, and I just love that. I think the contrast in a shorter wig like this is fantastic. That's my personal preference. It won't be everybody's, but I do just love that. Very, very bright, more platinum-like blonde with those darker roots. It's just great. Thanks for watching, guys. Okay, friends, one of my absolute favorite ways to style a short wig like this is with a headband. I absolutely love wearing headbands with short wigs. I think it just makes them so casual but put together and so comfortable. So please consider, if you've purchased a short wig and you're struggling. I struggled in the beginning with short wigs because I didn't have short hair and it just looked a little off to me, but as soon as I paired a short wig with a headband, I fell in love. So cute. So this headband right here is actually a fabric colored headband. It is one of my all-time favorite headbands. I have this in about 6 colors, and I've purchased other types that have different type of fabric over them. I actually have one. Let me show it to you guys really quickly because it's right here. I have one with beads on it. I will link my Amazon store in the description for you, and I have bookmarked every headband that I have ever purchased. Look at how cute that is, you guys. And you can amp up the back if you want, and you even put styling cream or spray or something in it to really amp up the back. Let me make sure I didn't pull that front up too much. Or you can tame it down. I mean, it's really, the sky's the limit. I tucked the sides. You don't have to. But I'll link that store. I have bookmarked every headband that I've ever purchased that I love, including other styling accessories. So check that out if you want some really great things to style your wigs with.